I can't begin to explain the crosses I have to bear. Scared to walk through certain doors, not sure if I'm welcome there. Daring to share my point of view. My chances of survival is slim. How can I openly love him if every day you see Baron who spits this gay poetry, not just plain OB? I'm Baron. I'm a spoken word artist, music producer, photographer, and soon-to-be graphic designer. Yeah, I was spoken word artist first, then photographer, then graphic designer now. Now I'm juggling with, now I'm getting into music production. Just because I shake your hand doesn't mean I'm scheming to be your man, and just because I smile at you don't mean I'm trying to get into bed with you. Brothers, I love you openly because you're beautiful. Spoken word is where I really got out there and started taking art seriously, which was funny because I never thought that I would be a sort of a public speaker. There was something I didn't think that would, something that I would have done, being that I have a stutter, and I was like, I can't speak publicly, you know, because I was always nervous about it. But the funny thing enough is that it doesn't come out in my spoken word at all. I got tired of walking with my head down even when my days went right. Skating close to the shadow, this is why I could be alright. Wanted to cancel myself out, but my pride was too thick. I couldn't look into mirrors, my own image made me sick. This is my emancipation question, brother. How can you throw stones when the stones you throw were built from the same brick your grandfather was chained to? The same chain gang your brother is now bound to. You cannot play God with me with your knees all dirty, with your skeleton falling through your weaponry. Check it, B. How are you going to start a whole war with half an army? I read all your ads, want it, tall, black, and strong, no femmes, no fags, or fag this. I first started writing poetry. It was just poetry. I wasn't expecting to perform it. But then spoken word spoken word requires performance to me, I think. It's using your body to convey some word or a message. So yeah, it starts out writing, it starts out as an idea, and then you kind of like, okay, how do I get my audience to feel what I've been writing? And that's the approach I take. In my writing, I usually take on characters and kind of talk through them and see how that works out. Gray, that shows up in two of my pieces. One is actually called Gray. It's about a young male prostitute. Now this piece is called Triple Man. It's about him telling his story of abuse, of living, of dying, both. Every time I do this piece, I get someone to come up and ask me, was it my life? And I tell them that, did it feel like it was my life? And they said, yeah. I said, well, then I've done my job. Now he borrowed my soul and stole my eyes, wanting me to feel his pain that night. You see, you know I can write this one right with the intent for it to never happen again another night, but how vividly he came to me that night. Like collapse to the cold tile of my bathroom floor. Recall Gray's last thoughts, he was thrust to the door. Felt the last blow to his face erased, and held Gray's semen-based last taste. And there was just 9 minutes in the end of Gray's life. A straight guy came to me and told me that he fully understands the poem. And I was like, how would you understand the poem? He was like, well, there was an incident where I was jumped by a group of people. And for having him say that the poem touched him that way, say, okay, you know, so I guess it reached out to him as something that he can relate to. And that's what I try to write, because I know talking about homosexuality and performing it in various audiences some people may not be as keen to listening, depending on how you come at the subject. And how I try to write, I try to write it as if the scenario is anyone's scenario.
So you know I'm going to ask you about You Are Beautiful.
Because you're beautiful. Oh.
Because you're beautiful.
Yes. That's right, it's loving you. So I take your punches against my cheek, because loving you is all I can do. Not like your girlfriend, but as your warrior. Ready to go on a battlefield for you. I'm still a man, but sometimes you seem to forget. You have an attraction for the same sex, but sisters, we ain't the same sex. I'm here for more than your fashion tips. And if you catch me glancing at your man, it's not because I want him. I'm happy that you found him. Nothing more to it, sisters, I love you. Openly. Because you're beautiful. That song, I think this had to be written. It was a call. It was a call for me to all my brothers and sisters. Like, as for me being writing poetry about homosexual experiences, being homosexual, and coming into a community that may or may not have been comfortable with it, but having them understand that my relationship with you is not because I'm trying, like one verse, I'm not trying to get in bed with you. I just want to be your friend. I want to see if we can build a friendship. And it was called between me and other guys, me and the women, because sometimes friendships between homosexual males and females are a little twisted. Like, sometimes women tend to treat the guy as if he's one of their girlfriends, and it's not like he's not. Like, my friends don't treat me like that, and I don't kind of let them do it. I have jumped into some situations where certain venues may not have wanted for me to perform. I've dealt that, but as far as once,
really?
Yeah, and
It
was a regular spoken word venue. Yeah, I'm not going to name any names, but yeah, it was a situation where they just because of my topics, they didn't want me to perform there. Usually when people see me, they're not quite sure what to expect until after I perform, and that works for me. Because when I walk the stage, it's unassuming, and then I say what I gotta say, and then like, oh, you know.
You're doing this, you're doing the performance, you're doing the CD, you're doing the graphics,
I know.
photography.
Like, always pulling myself to try new things, and I think that's what pulls me into these different areas, like spoken word, trying to be a performer, and then going back to photography and becoming a better photographer, and really working with imaging. Graphic design is like an offbeat of photography, because I love photography. I love creating image and text, and then music production. That just came out of me in the studio from the first time, and getting a taste of it, producing and creating tracks, and then writing to them, then having people respond to them, and me kind of just loving that process and saying, you know, I can do that. That's how it starts. You know, I can do that. And I try it out, and it works. That's how usually I get into new things. Like, you know what? I can try music producing. I can produce a beat.
You see, I'm an A's bomb, no Sean John, no white beater, not denim fitted. I'm not your average pimped out rapper. In this business, I'm something different. You'll feel me in your spinal cord. I'm all through like pull cord. I'ma go for mine, you'll go for yours. B-Dot signing out, put this mic on the floor.
I want to travel with it. I mean, that's one thing. Like, I want to be able to kind of, as far as the spoken word is concerned, and the music is just kind of expose people to me, and get the feedback, and kind of and learn. Traveling definitely is something I would love to do with the art.
This next one is it's a title track of my CD. It's called Troubled Man, and it speaks of a certain life of a young African-American boy. Every time I do this piece, I get someone to come up and ask me, was it my life? And I tell them that, did it feel like it was my life? And they said, yeah. I said, well, then I've done my job. So I hope that take that home with yourself.
Yeah.